welcome to the Coach's Wrap for round 2 versus the Kangaroos. Proudly brought to you by our great sponsors, Vero. Okay, it wasn't the result we wanted from the weekend. Unfortunately, we went down to the Kangaroos. To all you 19,000 supporters that came, we thank you for coming along. Hopefully you saw a good brand of footy that we played, but as I said, unfortunately we didn't get the 4 points. We'll just go through some reasons why, but then also go through some things that worked well for us on the weekend. I thought this week we'd start off with the things that we need to work on first. So areas of improvement. I think everyone knows what the area of improvement is this week. Our goal kicking. As you can see in these edits, we missed too many opportunities at goal, which against a side like North Melbourne, who played in last year's preliminary final, comes back to haunt you. Kicked 11 goals, 17, 83, so 28 scoring shots. They only had 4 more scoring shots than on the weekend, but as you'll see in a minute when I go through some other information, we just have to take these opportunities. Scoreboard pressure is crucial for a young side like ourselves, but more importantly, in the heat of the Gabba, it puts pressure on the opposition. So we unfortunately didn't get these goals, and you can see they're quite easy shots. So the boys are out on the paddock this morning, spending half an hour doing some goal kicking practice, basically simulating all these shots so that it doesn't happen again. As you can see, all from one side and all quite kickable. So this is a graph. This is our goal kicking graph for the weekend. It'll take a little bit to explain, and there's a little bit here, but we'll see how you go. And first one is we had 27 shots on goal. Kicked 11 goals, 13 from set shots or shots on the run, and there was 4 rush behinds. So that gave us 11 goals, 17. 40 to 50 metres out was our real bad area for the weekend. You can see there, and I'll put a graph here, that's the 40 to 50 zone, where we missed the majority of our shots. So again, as I said, our players are out simulating all these situations this morning, and just getting some more practice on them. And that point there, 6 goals, 9 from set shots, so marks or free kicks, which is not ideal and it's not great. So an area we need to work on. And we kicked 5 goals, 8 and 2 on the full from that part of the ground. So again, that's the area we'll control this week at training. Looking back, we probably didn't do enough training at goal kicking this week. First session back on the Gab, we probably needed to do a little bit more, so as coaches we'll take some responsibility for that. But we did a lot of work this morning, and we'll do a lot of work in the next few days with our goal kicking. So that was probably the most part of the area where we need to improve this week. And as you can see there, in the first quarter we kicked 2 goals, 7 to 2 goals, 3. And at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter, it was 2 goals, 10 and 2 on the fulls to 2 goals, 3. So in the first 6 minutes, we had 5 shots on goal to North Melbourne, 0. So again, as I said earlier, even if that's 6 goals, 6 or 7 goals, 5, it puts enormous pressure on North Melbourne, and who knows what the result might have been. So to the players' credit, they were getting the ball inside 50, and we're all over North Melbourne, but we just didn't have the scoreboard pressure. So it was unfortunate and disappointing, and probably even more disappointing for the supporters at the ground to watch that. So we'll keep working on that part of the ground. Okay, what went well for us? I thought our little Mozzie squad went pretty well on the weekend, especially Zorks and Tails. And sorry, Greenie, I didn't give you a mention here, but it was good to see you back in the side, mate. So you see some edits here of Zorks first. His ability to get to every contest. Great by Greenie, good hands, and a snap-on goal. We want our little guys kicking as many goals as we can. Zorks kicked 2 goals, 1. Squizzy kicked 2 goals, 2 and 1 on the full, and Greenie kicked 1. So they had 5 goals between them, but that quite possibly could have been 7 or 8 goals, as you saw in the first segment with the goal kicking with Squiz. Tinker had 24 possessions, 2 goals, 5 inside 50s and 5 tackles. So it was a great first game for him this year. We obviously missed him against the West Coast Eagles. And Squizzy as well. 22 possessions, 2 goals, 5 inside 50s and 3 tackles. So they weren't too far off being identical. But they're very important to us. As you can see here, Squizzy's got very good agility, ability to get around opposition and get shots on goal. So those 2 guys, as well as Greenie, are going to be really important for us this year, and it was good to see them hitting the scoreboard. And our key forwards, I thought, again, Josh Shackey and Josh Walker, 7 contested marks between them for the game, which was a high for us in the last 12 months. They're starting to get a lot of synergy with each other. Young Shackey took 4 contested marks. We already know, as I said last week's segment, that he's going to be a terrific player for us. And it was good to see Josh Walker take a few grabs this week as well. He had 3 contested marks and also kicked a goal. Unfortunately, Josh couldn't kick any goals. He missed one in the last quarter, which 9 times out of 10 he kicked, but and that's the one here, a little bit of fatigue, I think, for the young fella, and he just didn't take the opportunity in kicking the goal. But if we can get these guys taking between 7 and 10 contested marks every week, it's going to give us enormous opportunity moving forward and to get more wins. But as I said earlier, it was disappointing. We were bitterly disappointed after the game. It was an opportunity lost for us. 11 goals, 17 isn't great. As a young side, we need to kick those goals and take the opportunities. But again, I hope for the supporters you saw some hope for us. Keep the faith, because we're on the right track. We're trying to play an exciting brand of footy. And again, thank you to all supporters who came and watched on the weekend. And hopefully we have a good crack against the Cats down at Geelong this weekend. Keezy played his first game back on the weekend, obviously from a finger injury, and had over 30 possessions, 37 or 39 I think it was. Unfortunately, the boys had a really bad loss on the weekend. There's some areas of the game where Keezy and Nick Robinson need to improve on. They both might be in contention this week. Whether they play or not, I'm not too sure. They probably won't. But they're not far away. We just need to continue their ability to work defensively and work on some contested ball, but the two aren't far away. I think with centre bounce clearances, the thing is that it's even numbers in there. It's always 4v4 in the centre bounce. We actually lost the centre bounce clearance by 4 on the weekend, but we kicked 3 goals. Sometimes it's easier to kick goals from centre bounce and between the arc stoppages, because again, there's either even numbers inside our forward 50, or we can be predictable with our ball movement, get to the spots where we need to, and get some score action happening. Around the ground clearance is a little bit different, where you're dictated to by what the opposition are doing with numbers and also what we're doing. So between the arc stoppages, we were down by 4 again on the weekend. At times, though, North Melbourne had an extra number at stoppage, because we were actually setting up to win the ball back from stoppage. So we basically wanted to lose the stoppage and get the ball back through a turnover, which we were able to do on 20 occasions on the weekend, and from that kick 3 goals, 3. All in all, though, our clearance work has been pretty good over the last 12 months. It's been a massive improvement. We're scoring okay from stoppages, but again, the centre bounce is probably the easiest one to score from due to the even numbers in there. Yeah, he's a fish out of water most of the time, Rocky, to be honest. He actually hasn't been playing back as such, but what's happening these days is midfielders, because they're resting a lot forward, and Rocky probably spent 25% of the game at full forward, the old full forward term that we use. It means that when he goes in the midfield, he's able to push back a lot harder than he normally would, because he probably spends less time in the midfield. So when we lose stoppage or there's a turnover, our midfielders are working hard to get back in defence, support our defence, and hopefully set up our attack from defence. So it might look like Rocky's down there quite a bit, but he's actually just playing his role and getting back to support the defence. He actually didn't spend any time as a backman as such on the weekend or this year so far. It's just that he gets back to support the defence. So hopefully that clears that question up for you.